Hello, I'm Oren. Welcome to Dark Moon Games. I'm going to tell you an interesting story about a little boy who loved a counter. If you want more interesting stories, don't hesitate to leave a comment. The Counting Rhyme. There once was a boy. His mother and father were always at work, so no one ever watched him. The younger kids at school were terrified of him because he often bullied them and stole their money. But he tormented one girl the most. This girl had jet black hair and equally dark eyes, so everyone called her the gypsy. Maybe she really was Romani. She had no parents. An old woman with a back curved like a question mark brought her to school. No one knew why the boy had it out for her, but no one stood up for her either, because the girl had no friends at all at school. Once, the boy's parents were even called to the principal's office after he tripped the girl, making her fall and bloody her nose. But it didn't help. Instead, the boy tormented her even more. One day, he shoved her right in front of the old woman. When the old woman began scolding him loudly, he just laughed, knowing she could never catch him. "Just you wait," the old woman said. "I know who will punish you." The next night, the boy had a dream. He and several other children lay tied up on a stone floor. The boy was terrified but didn't know why. He turned his head, trying to see who was there. He couldn't see them, but he heard heavy breathing and an eerie, whistling laugh. He also saw a large wooden table stained with red and black paint. Behind the table was the black maw of a furnace where flames roared. "That's not paint," the boy realized suddenly. "It's blood." The dream was terrifying, but it was just a dream, forgotten by morning. Yet the next night, he found himself in the same dream. And he began to guess where the blood on the table came from and why the fire was lit in the furnace. He stayed home all day, paralyzed with fear. That night, he tossed and turned, afraid to fall asleep. But when he did, his fear grew worse because he finally saw who was breathing so heavily. He was huge and fat. His knotted hands were covered in unhealed, bleeding wounds stitched with coarse thread. He wore a mask, but the boy instantly recognized the eyes behind it. The same black eyes he'd seen on the gypsy girl and the old woman who brought her to school. The fat man looked at the children lying bound on the floor and began counting loudly. "People, beasts, I am no one. Think that's all?" When the boy woke in the morning, he dressed quickly and ran straight to school. He knew who could save him. He would apologize, he would beg them. He waited outside the school for 3 hours before realizing the gypsy girl wasn't coming, which meant the old woman wouldn't either. That night, he was back in the dream. The fat man was again reciting his rhyme, pointing at the children on the floor. "People, beasts, I am no one. Think that's all? Sticks, stakes, darkness, no one needs me." The next day, the boy tried to find out where the gypsy girl and the old woman lived. But the other children just stared at him, confused. None of them knew such a girl. Even the teachers shook their heads, and the principal himself couldn't recall ever calling the boy's parents to school. The boy's parents remembered nothing either. When he told them about the terrible dream, they just shrugged and said dreams aren't real, and nothing would happen to him. The boy lay in bed all night, fighting sleep. But even with his eyes open, he could hear the fat man continuing his rhyme. "People, beasts, I am no one. Think that's all? Sticks, stakes, darkness, no one needs me. Rats, worms, life is a game. I fell into nowhere." When dawn broke outside, the voice faded. The boy barely managed to get out of bed. He was desperately tired, but he knew he had to find the gypsy girl. He had to go back to school. He had to ask the other kids. Maybe someone would remember. If not, he'd search the entire city. Ask everyone. But he would find that girl and the old woman, because he already knew who the counting rhyme would point to in the dream. The boy's parents left for work, and no one saw that he fell asleep sitting on his bed, one leg halfway into his pants. And even if someone had seen, they likely couldn't have woken him. "People, beasts, I am no one. Think that's all? Sticks, stakes, darkness, no one needs me. Rats, worms, life is a game. I fell into nowhere. Light, dawn, and silence. You'll never wake again.